Hey, how you doing, Jeremy?
We are loud. We are here. I'm doing well, buddy. How are you?
Very good, very good. So we're into day one. First content piece on the stage. How you feeling?
I'm feeling great. It's been a good day so far. It was fun being here, seeing everybody again for the first time since I made it out to a show in Montreal in a while. So good to see everybody, and I love what the Expo brand has done with the show here. This is phenomenal.
Well, it's our first show in Montreal. We were really excited about bringing it out here, and I think the vendors that I've spoken to are having a great time. They like the changes that we've brought to the show. Thank you. I love that thumbs up on the way by. No, we've done a lot to bring more to the show, make it more of the experience that you start to see in some of our other events like Toronto. This is our second show in Quebec itself. We were in Quebec City earlier this year, but yeah, really excited, and I even bought some cards.
Congratulations. I want to hear what they are. One of the things I love about this venue is the floor. We are not killing our feet, our knees, our legs anymore like you do at other shows. This is the turf is a really nice change for everybody's physical, physical.
Yes, and Jeremy, speaking from experience, we've been at, this is our third show in 4 weeks, and both other shows happened on concrete floors, and this is a much softer footfall. So your knees aren't hurting as much, and then you're walking more and buying more.
Yeah, exactly. I also like that it's a big open room. I like the piping. People can have their banners up, things hanging behind them. It gives it that professional feel. I got to give a shout out to the eBay balloons. I mean, it really does help pop the whole room with all the color. It's nice. I got here early today. I've covered the floor. I've looked around, and there is a great selection of cards here. And I have to say, for anybody who may not be, in Canada, if you're thinking about coming up tomorrow, the next day, there's a ton of non-hockey. There's a ton of baseball, basketball, football, Pokemon, among other sports too. So great selection here.
Yeah, and really happy. I mean, like I said, everyone talks about how there's going to be a ton of hockey, and there is a ton of hockey here. But I'm a collector of basketball myself. I pulled up some great cards. I got this impeccable metal rookie Scotty Barnes. I picked this up just at the booth from the CSC booth. Really happy with that. And then I've got this Noir. Again, all of these are on-card autos. This one is to 49, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, nope, to 99. And then this one's my favorite. Again, a Noir. And this is number 1 of 99 rookie.
So I love this. This Barnes with the auto and the patch, I think is really nice. And you're saying you like that one better. It doesn't have a patch, but you like that it's 1 of 99? Or
yeah,
do you just like the image?
No, I like the image. I like it. It's very clean. I do love the patch. Don't get me wrong, but specifically for me, and we've talked about this, like some people collect for investing. I collect for what I think is beautiful. All these cards to me are beautiful. This one is a very clean look. I love the silhouette in the background, and I'll just pull this up as I'm talking about it. I love the silhouette in the background. I love that it's a first card in the series. I think they did a really good job on it. And for me, I know I'm a purist in that I want every auto that I have to be on card.
Yeah. Yeah, I kind of have a rule myself, no sticker autos, although I did make an exception to it recently with a nice Leaf Timo Solani that I picked up in Edmonton. I picked up 2 cards so far this show. Yeah. That's it. I mean, I've got my eyes on several out there. I'm just waiting to pull the trigger, but I picked up a 1953 Parkhurst Tim Horton, a second-year Tim Horton in a PSA 1 from a gentleman along the back wall there. The card has some creases, but it's beautiful.
It has one crease across the middle, but it's a beautiful, we looked at this before, and it's a beautiful card. You have to look hard to tell.
You do, but they are there. It's a beautiful card. And I picked up just from these guys on the corner here, I'm not sure their names, they had a nice Henrik Lundqvist exquisite auto patch, so picked up a couple, but I'm set up at my booth over just beside Slab Sharks at 401, 402, and I'm hoping to buy more cards. What's going on? CSC
Jason.
in the
Get
house.
over here for a second, Jason. That's who sold me the cards. Jason, come here for 1 second. I just want to say thank you.
Oh, this is anonymous Jason.
Anonymous Jason.
Please meet anonymous Jason. Anonymous Jason,
I don't
everybody.
get to do deals on video, but definitely made me a very happy man.
I love you, buddy.
He hasn't stopped talking about it, Jason.
I'm glowing. I'm glowing. So yeah, I think so far it's been really good. We had our first giveaway for kids on the stage. That went really well. We're going to be doing that throughout the weekend. And we're going to have our guests up here. You're going to be interviewing Mike Richter tomorrow.
Yep, and Alexei Kovalev too.
Yep. Do you have your questions ready?
I do.
Are you going to be talking about the hobby to them at all?
Of course.
What's your favorite? So Jeremy's been doing a bunch of our interviews. He's done so for about a year and a half now. So far in the docket, who's your favorite interview, and who's the one that you thought you did the best on?
Well, you know, I can't leave out Timo Solani. He's my all-time favorite pro athlete, so I got to interview him there last month, and then back in November was Peter Forsberg, another hero and just a great player. I mean, those are two players that I collect.
Yep.
So to be able to collect interviews, that's pretty cool. That's why I'm excited to add Richter and Kovalev tomorrow. Pete Stemkowski in Toronto.
That was wicked.
He might have been the best interview I've ever had. I didn't have to do much. He just told story after story. That was a lot of fun. I'm looking forward to a couple more tomorrow. And it's interesting because I did look into these guys. You know, I remember Kovalev and Richter. I was watching hockey in their eras, and so but I didn't know certain things about each of them, like that Alexei Kovalev is the first Russian-born player to ever be chosen in the first round of the NHL draft.
I did not know that.
Didn't realize that. That was pretty cool to learn. Also, that he was with the '94 Rangers, he was one of the first Russian-born players to have their name inscribed on the Stanley Cup.
Oh, that's wicked. I
Pretty
did not
cool.
know that. Yeah, I had no idea.
Very cool stuff. And I think Mike Richter, when he won the Cup in '94, he did so because Van Briesbroek had either just gotten traded or was hurt, so he stepped in and took the reins from there.
And I think that happens quite often, right, with goaltenders or in any sport. Someone takes your position and then just runs with that for the rest of their career. It's funny, I do some interviews when you're not there in some of the smaller shows, and I interviewed Eddie Mio in Edmonton.
Oh, yeah.
And again, I don't have as many interesting facts, but he did run for the mayor of Windsor, so we had a good laugh about that up there. But it is fun when you look into some of these players' past and find out some really good tidbits of information, and they open up. When you have a good nugget for them, they seem to open up and really have fun with the interview.
The interesting thing, you know, even with Richter, so one of the cool things about Mike Richter, when they won the Cup in '94, one of the most important plays in Game 7, that went to 7 games, was when he stopped Pavel Bure on a penalty shot. Of all players, Pavel Bure. And so I'm probably going to ask him about that. Do you remember it? What did it mean? All those sorts of things.
Do you remember it? No, I'm sure he forgets.
But it wasn't like I had to look very hard to find that information. It was right there on Wikipedia on the Mike Richter page. So I wonder how many times he's been asked the question. That's why when I interview athletes at the expos, I like to ask them sports card related questions. What did you collect? Do you collect? Do you like signing autographs for Upper Deck and Leaf and the card companies? If you could collect anyone today, who would it be? Those are the questions I want to hear, because I want to meld together them as pro athletes, retired NHLers, along with the hobby, because that's what we're here for. And I think the audience for this is a hobby audience. So I want to be able to bring that audience something specific, because anyone can ask these guys about their career and who they like playing with the most and who is the toughest shooter, who is the toughest goalie. I want to ask more questions specific to the hobby, but also keep them interested in the conversation.
And you had a great question. You had great conversations with both Forsberg and Solani about the hobby.
They like talking about that stuff, you know, for sure. Yeah.
And I'm sure they collect, right? At the end of the day, well, even more so now, you're starting to see players collect.
Yeah.
Like Wemby, there's a picture of Wemby out there looking for his rookie in San Antonio. Like, that's wicked.
Exactly.
Corbin Carroll, you know, collecting his rookies and getting them to PSA, like, that only is beneficial to the hobby.
Did you see what I think was it Corbin Carroll and Bobby Witt Jr. what they did?
Where they put it in their pockets and played the game? That's awesome.
They took cards of themselves.
Yep.
They put them in their back pocket, and then they went and played a game. And they're calling them game-used cards. And then somehow they got PSA to slab them as authentic game used cards.
Somehow.
Which is,
They're famous athletes
Yeah.
who make a lot of money. Somehow they manage to make
and
it
I
happen.
don't, and I think it's awesome. I think kudos to PSA for doing that.
100%.
Kudos to those athletes for doing. I don't know who conceived the idea, but I think it's a really cool idea, and it's probably the start of we'll
And
be
did you
seeing
s-
more.
It was a few of cards, and did you see they also had an inscription on it too?
Yeah, each card had a different inscription,
Yep.
and I thought that was a really neat. And you know what? It's one of these innovations, if we can call it that, that is very recent. Where I've seen maybe one comment on Instagram. Someone said, "Oh, what is that? That's cheesy." But I've seen 98% of people say this is awesome. Like, way to think outside the box.
It's awesome to see kids who grew up collecting now playing the sport and then making it collectible for themselves.
Exactly. I think it's neat. I like to see the players involved. One of the things you'll see on the back of some cards is, especially, I think it was In the Game used to say, on the back, you've received a game-worn piece of memorabilia, from In the Game, keeping you in as close as you can get to being in the game. Well, imagine having a card that was in the back pocket of the first baseman.
It's wicked. That's gonna be if they end up being world-class players, that's gonna be such a collectible item and a one of a kind.
Yeah, I think it's a neat thing to do for sure. So, how are you enjoying? How from the organizer perspective, or the planning, logistics, you and your team, how are you guys finding the first few hours of the expo to be so far?
Better than expected. Attendance turnout has been really, really good. The show has been full since we opened the doors. We have, I think, a much better turnout in terms of exhibitors. We're at 60,000 square feet. Show's
Yeah.
pretty big.
It
Full-
is.
It's literally packed. Every single booth is sold. It's packed with amazing cards. Really excited about how this has turned out and to see what comes in through the weekend. And I know I'm going to be buying more.
I'm hoping to buy more too.
I went to Premiere. Did you see so all the frames at Premiere are all half off. I also scooped up Frank Mihaljevic signed frame for my dad.
You're here working. You're supposed to be making money, not spending.
That is not true. I am here working, and I'm supposed to be supporting and putting money back into the hobby.
Attaboy.
Just injecting it. There we go.
Keep on spending, Mikey. Keep on spending.
Got to keep that economy going. So, again, thanks everyone for coming out. Jeremy, I'm sure you got to go back and make some deals. We're going to have you on with Dr. Collectible at a couple points tomorrow, as well as your interviews. So excited to see that, and thanks again.
Thank you. This is fun. It's great to be here.
All right, buddy. See you soon. Thank you. Thank you. We're here all night.